Decio Anzani was the leader of the Lega Italiana dei Diritti dell'Uomo, which became rather important in the early 30s because Anzani was the main contact between the anti-fascists in London and the Labour Party. He continued his activity with William Gillis, who was the international secretary of the Labour Party, and unfortunately he was arrested by mistake when Mussolini declared war on the 10th of June 1940. He was arrested, put in an internment camp, and ended up on the Arandora Star, and he died. The exhibition begins with a set of visual images which capture the essence of the content, and it focuses on a group of Italian refugees, political refugees, from what was called the first dictatorship in Italy, that is Francesco Crispi. People who left the country, they came to London at the turn of the last century. And these people were the first to set up an Italian resistance abroad against fascism. I'm talking about people like Corio, I'm talking about Malatesta, Decio Anzani, Galasso, who became the editor of the very first anti-fascist publication abroad. This is a commento. It started publications early in 1922, and this was in response to the fact that in London there was the very first fascio di combattimento abroad. It started in London in mid-1921, and by 1922 these political refugees became anti-fascists, and they were the very first to contrast the emergence of the London fascio, which then continued to expand in the late 20s and in the 30s. And you will see here how they expanded to well outside London, to other towns, major towns, from Cardiff, Dundee, Manchester, Birmingham, Belfast. They had a Casa del Fascio, as they did in Edinburgh. And the major development was the ultimate headquarters in London, which was at number 4 Charing Cross Road. This was bought by the Italian Fascist Party in 1937, and it became the headquarters of the publication Italia Nostra, of the Cooperativo Club, and all the other organizations set up by the Italian Fascist Party in London.
Streets outside are glistening. I found I'm barely listening as you try to smile